Okay, hello everyone. Today I'd like to say hello, and we're back with Under the Skin. And Carolina and myself will do a quick intro in a minute, but we'd like to say that we've actually decided to do some little short snapshot topics. Just give this a go, where we're talking just for 10 15 minutes on a particular topic. And yeah, let us know what you think. Really open to your feedback and some questions and how you find these. So a quick introduction of myself, Kate Adey. I work as a leadership and transformation coach, using the inside out understanding of the mind to help people reconnect with who they truly are. And in that really helps them in their lives deal with challenges much more calmly and clearly and courageously. Carolina.
Yeah. I am Karolina Gladyk. I'm also a coach and a group facilitator. I also use the inside out understanding. There are also other spiritual traditions that really impacted me. And the way I work with people is helping them understand how the mind works, how the thinking creates reality, but what is even more real, what is deeper, and how can we live life with more joy and love, connection, and much less effort and less on our mind. I work with parents and actually with clients from all sorts of backgrounds.
Great. Well, looking forward to today's topic, Carolina. We're going to have a little chat about well, I suppose we could make it as big as we want, but it's love and how that really shows up, what it means to us. So yeah, what does it mean to you in the context maybe of your own life first, with with children, husband, family?
Sure. I think that the topic, as you said, it is big, it is huge, and at the same time it can be discovered and explored in very ordinary, very small life circumstances. That's what I love about it. And I was reflecting quite recently about love in parenting. And, it happens that I get quite frustrated when I'm with my kids. I can be frustrated with their behavior or with me, let's say with my lack of patience, and it creates tension. And then when there is the tension and frustration, quite often my mind wants to fix it and solve it. For instance, I can get ideas like, we need more discipline here, or we need boundaries, or we need to spend more time together, like kind of things that appear to be solutions. But there is this feeling of frustration. And very often what it happens then, that when I come back to feeling of connection and just love for my kids, the issue is not there anymore somehow. The issue just resolves itself, or there is apparent solution to the issue, or it doesn't bother me so much. And I would like to go under the skin and see what's happening. So from my perspective, it is very, very simple, and yet so easy to forget about it, that love is something that is us, that is something that we naturally can feel always. And the connection with our children and unconditional acceptance, it's who we are. It's what happens when we are not believing our thinking. But we are thinking creatures, so the stories are always being created. And very often the stories can be quite judgmental. Like there is something wrong with them or with me. It shouldn't be this way. And it creates tension. And in the simplicity of it, I think what's very helpful for me and for some clients I work with, it's just not investing so much in the story that creates the tension, but just stopping a little bit, and then we can naturally come back to the connection and just feeling of love that changes everything. So that's what it looks like to me. I could talk, I really could talk a long time about it.
And it's lovely what you said at the beginning, and how you go into that feeling of love and that connection for your children. And I suppose as a listener, they might, if I was putting myself into someone that doesn't know anything about how we truly work, because that's not how we're brought up. That's not kind of our conditioning. Our education is to look out for the answers. And I suppose what I'm curious about is maybe, helping the listener sort of understand. So how did you switch going from that frustration to that feeling of frustration to that feeling of love and
Yes.
connection? So that kind of, yeah.
Yes. So right now, it's obvious to me that when I'm caught up in the story, I can come back to the feeling of connection. But I didn't always know about it. And with the inside out understanding, also known as the three principles, this is, I think, how it started to really be visible to me, that we are the we are at our core the formless energy of love and of wisdom and of creation. This is who we are, and we use the same energy to create our model of reality, our stories, our interpretations. And they look so real because they are brought to life by consciousness, and they just appear real. And when I had my insights into that it's really made up, that it's really a kind of illusion, it makes it so much easier to stop investing so much in the illusion and just get quiet for a moment and see what else is there. And what else is there is something that I started to fall more and more in love with, because it's such a wonderful full feeling. So it's the falling in love that draws you more and more to it. You have your first experience that is always there, it's natural, and then it's kind of leaning more in that direction. That's how it's been to me.
And what came to mind for me was, you were talking there, is that without thought we are love. And I think that's that it's just so simple. It's just, but it's not how we show up every day, in the sense that if we don't see that thought, we're experiencing our feeling in the moment, our thinking in the moment, or feeling our thinking in the moment. If we don't really feel that, then of course it's so natural just to get wrapped up. And I see that every day, with my kids, 3 boys, that I'm just thinking over breakfast this morning, I try and make fun of what I'm seeing and help them to see it, that when they are teasing each other and winding each other up, I will just say, oh, you're in your winding up head. Or you're in your winding up mind. Whatever word seems to just connect with them. But I'm much more responding to them, interacting with them from a place of love and true connection, so that I don't get caught up in their problems or their storytelling or thinking or teasing of each other, that I might have certainly have done had I not had this insight into seeing that we are the energy of life, which is love, which is one. And actually, I think what I see more and more clearly is that we're not separated. We are the one. So we are all connected, and that connection is with ourselves, with love, and with each other. And that they are. So we look at our children. It's not us and them. We're one, and we're all just showing up in everyday life in a way that makes sense to us. And so I think it's beautiful in the way that the kids just, they come in and out of their different states of minds, and they're not pointed to this, say at school or in their life. So I think the beauty of parenting, and I think is from the inside out, is that we can be that love and just shine as much as we can. Obviously we get tripped up, we fall over and we get frustrated or we get irritated and caught up in our storytelling, but to see it for what it is so freeing, to then be in that state of love more often, and see, I've had many more, I suppose, moments of just, I suppose, even just with if I think the kids, connecting and cuddling and just being with them. I don't have to say anything, because words sometimes can get in the way, and we think words sometimes are the solution. And if we can tune into the love gives the answer.
That's beautiful. When we tune into the love gives answer. I love it, really. Yes.
It's
beautiful.
Yeah. And I suppose, I find sometimes by taking the step back and, looking at when we were, I suppose actually just thinking of, when we have our babies, when we have our children, when they're born, that huge amounts of love that we have for them. And they are just love they're a bundle, aren't they? We call it a bundle of joy, often is the expression in England. You might have something in Cyprus. Bundle of joy, bundle of love, bundle of, it's, and we are that all the way through our lives. However, we get, a bit like the diamond gets layers and layers and layers, so you don't see its true shininess and beauty, because we put layers and layers of thought, layers of whatever, and we're just, if one can fall away from that thinking and just see us for who we truly are, it's it might sound, I think sometimes it can sound a bit goo goo gaga, but actually it's so, you could see it in practice. That's why I did my post yesterday, that of my being frustrated with or irritated by the fact that I was making lunch. My husband was carrying on working. But that was a real case in point of just, this is it in practice. I got into it, but I didn't stay in it because I know how it works.
Makes sense. It is really very practical. It is. Seeing the oneness and what is underneath the mud of the thinking is very practical. Because sometimes it might be a bit difficult to see that we are love and that our children are love, because sometimes we or them, and when I say we and them, it's just a metaphor, because I totally see what you say. We are one life. But sometimes we are behaving in ways that are not very kind of loving, and I can see it quite often in my older daughter. She can be quite intense, and sometimes even quite aggressive and screaming and very intense. And so many times I got so surprised when she calmed down, because sometimes I will start judging her when she's like this. But when I don't buy into it, that she's something is wrong with her. And when I kind of calm down internally, then the impulse comes maybe to give her a hug, or to just be quietly with her, or just to see her as a beautiful human being. She comes down, and it really turns out that she just wanted connection, that she felt not connected, that she felt, I don't know, maybe rejected in some way, and she was acting out. It's just, it's always under the mud. It's always the beautiful light. It's helpful to remember it.
And a question that came to my mind, I wonder whether this could be useful for listeners, parents, is just to ask yourself, am I feeling connection with my child? Because I would say I feel connected with you, Carolina, in this call. We're just one, really. We're just you just have that connection. And I think when we disconnect, we can then call it tension, we can then call it, stress or whatever it is between us, then thought is getting in the way. That's what that stress is, that's what that tension is, so to reconnect. And if you've got the connection, then you'll know what the answer is, whether it's the question or a hug and actually you tune into what you were saying about with your daughter. I tuned into my son in a way that actually saw what he was asking for in the same way.
Yeah.
So, should we leave it at that today on
I
our,
think it's a
our
beautiful place to leave. Yes.
first short hot
Yeah.
topic on love? Well, we hope you've enjoyed it, and do let us know if you have any questions. Get in touch with us, either on Facebook or by on our websites, and see you soon.
Yes, see you soon. Bye.
Bye.